Hannah, tell us a bit about how you got into medicine in the first place.
My parents were both physiotherapists, and I grew up watching them go to the hospital every day in a white coat, as they did back then, and helping people. And I liked the respect that they had in the community, especially because they helped a lot of patients at home, patients who couldn't afford to go into the hospital. And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a doctor. And I used to watch documentaries, and I watched a documentary on surgery when I was around 9 or 10. And I thought, yes, that's the kind of doctor I want to be, not just someone who prescribes medicine, but someone who uses your hands to make people better. When I was a teenager, I attended a camp, a summer camp run by Youth with a Mission. When they asked questions like, oh, what do you guys want to do when you grow up? And I said, I wanted to be a surgeon. They were like, oh, yes, and you should join Mercy Ships, where surgeons have an operating theater on a ship and they go to low middle income countries and they do operating for patients who couldn't afford it. And I thought, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to be a reconstructive surgeon. And so I did my medical training in India, couldn't get into surgical training there, and so came to the UK to get into a surgical training program. It's taken me a while, but now I'm a consultant cleft surgeon. And I do go to low middle income countries at least once a year and operate on children or adults born with disfiguring facial deformities and help make them better.
Fantastic. And how did you get involved with CMF? Because you've only been involved relatively recently, haven't you?
Well, this is a bit of a strange story. I was at a women's conference and we had a session on unloading grief to the Lord. And we all have some kind of grief sometimes in our heart that we just walk around, we ignore it on a day-to-day basis. And this was about healing that grief. And I realized that I had some grief in my heart from feeling like I was called to do something for the Lord, serving the Lord in some way, but not having that validated by the church that I was going to. And I had a distinct picture from the Lord of a church building. And he said to me, you think the church is just a building with a cross outside it. That's what you think the church is. But my church is my people, wherever they are. And that includes doctors. And he gave me the specific words, Christian Medical Fellowship. And I never heard of it. Been in this country 22 years, never heard of it. And so I went home after that meeting and Googled Christian Medical Fellowship and found out such an organization exists and has done for 75 years. And so I signed up, and the very first newsletter that came through, they said they were looking for a volunteer for their global section. I thought, okay, this is it. God wants me to join. So it's not just to, contribute to the membership fund, but to actually do something. And that's how I ended up volunteering with the global team at CMF. My specific role is working with international medical graduates like myself. When I first came to the country, it was a huge challenge. Adjusting to British culture, adjusting to NHS ways of doing things. The medicine is always the easy bit. It's the culture that's different and takes a while to get used to and to get connected. So what I'm doing is over this last year, I've created a support network for all international medical and nursing graduates who are Christians, who want to get stuck in, who want a community. Particularly as junior doctors, I think we move around quite a lot every 6 months, a new city, and it can be hard to get connected to a church. So this offers Bible study, prayer meetings, online meetings, but it also offers things specifically for those who are new to the NHS, like understanding NHS pensions, CV optimization, interview skills, well-being in the NHS. And we also do face-to-face meetings from time to time, and that's open to all people of international origin, even if they're not Christians. And we talk to them about the NHS, but we also give them the opportunity to encounter the gospel and hear about Jesus.
It's fantastic. So you're doing quite a bit with CMF, but what has being a part of CMF meant for you?
I think personally for me, realizing that there's a whole group of people just like me who have the same values and faith and are in the medical profession, understand the pressures of the NHS, working as a doctor, as a surgeon, that's been huge. And particularly with volunteering, my team has come around me and helped me discover skills and qualities I never knew I had. And the way the Lord works through people to motivate, support, and I've been able to pastorally support other trainees as well. And I just love the fact that I have this group of people around me, and it's a huge network. And everywhere we go, there will be someone there um, who have those same values. And yeah, that's what I really like about CMF, being part of that family, that community.
So if someone else was really interested in volunteering with CMF, what advice would you give them?
I would say go for it. Because, like me, you may discover skills that you never thought you had, and you will be amazed by how much God can do through you by just the effort that you put in, and He will just multiply it, and it just goes exponential. Just watch and see what God can do through you.